In the ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Democratic Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland. Senator, thanks so much for being with us. What was your reaction to the president's speech on Afghanistan last night?
Well, Joe, first, it is good to be with you. I think the president, in calling on regional cooperation, that is the right thing. We need to have Pakistan a more cooperative partner in dealing with Afghanistan. India could be an important partner in dealing with this. What I find difficult to really follow is what he's doing on the military side. It looks like he is doing another surge with additional troops being put into Afghanistan. We need a diplomatic surge. We need the president to be able to engage the regional partners to get the parties to talk about the future of Afghanistan in a peaceful way, so there's no voids for terrorist organizations to operate. And that, to me, is going to be the key, whether he can implement a surge and have the confidence of our regional partners that we can really bring peace to Afghanistan.
Andrea Mitchell's with us and has a question. Andrea.
What are we going to do diplomatically, though, when you have so many vacancies at the State Department? The Secretary of State proved on his trip to Guam, as he was refueling, that he could very effectively offset the president's somewhat ill-chosen fire and fury comments and try to quiet the waters around North Korea, literally and figuratively. But what have we seen in the region in South Asia that can even begin to cope with this kind of challenge?
Andrea, you're absolutely right. There's so many vacancies in key positions in that region of the world. There's vacancies throughout the world in the State Department of key administration-appointed officials to give guidance to our dedicated Foreign Service officers. That's missing. And for someone to be able to put together that diplomatic surge, they're really not in place to do it. Also, you look at the president's FY18 budget. His budget certainly doesn't implement this type of diplomatic surge. So we get inconsistent messages. It would be, I think, very helpful if we knew the key players and they were appointed. Senate confirmed those positions, and we knew that the president was going to put our diplomatic efforts and development efforts in the budget.
Senator, it's Bret Stephens here from the New York Times. It's obviously we're all wrapping the Trump administration, I think rightly so. But you had President Obama in office for 8 years, pursuing not just military but diplomatic options as well in the region. So, and with a full deck at the State Department. Why do you think those efforts failed? What's your analysis? What can the Trump administration do that would improve on what the Obama administration evidently failed to do, given where we are in Afghanistan now?
Well, we need to learn from our past, and we know one thing. We know that a military surge, we've tried two under the Obama administration. That did not work. We also know that Russia is now getting more interested in Afghanistan. That is not helpful. So I think bringing in regional partners is important, but also we have to recognize that Russia plays a role in Afghanistan, and how do we counter their negative impact in that region? So you got to learn from the past. And one thing is clear, there's not a U.S. military victory in Afghanistan alone. You need to be able to have a stable government. You need to bring the warring parties together. We have not been successful in doing that. Bringing in India, bringing in Pakistan in a more constructive way certainly would be helpful.
David Ignatius.
Senator, you just referred to India and Pakistan. I want to ask you to focus on Pakistan. The president put us back in the carrots and sticks game with Pakistan, and that is going to require congressional support. Do you think Congress would be ready to provide new aid for Pakistan if it demonstrated that it's more serious about helping? And correspondingly, would it be prepared to cut aid sharply if the Pakistanis don't go along? What do you think?
I think Congress has shown that willingness in the past. We have conditioned aid in Pakistan. We have been willing to put forward significant financial support for Pakistan and when they cooperate with us in fighting terrorism, which is very frustrating. As you know, they have a relationship with terrorist organizations that are very deadly to the United States. That has to end. So we really do need to use a carrot-stick approach. And yes, Congress should weigh in. I'm anticipating filing legislation, bipartisan legislation, to deal with the congressional role in Afghanistan. And part of that will be to deal with the regional partners.
All right, Mark Halperin.
Thoughts on your colleague, Bob Menendez, facing a criminal trial? What are the implications of that trial and a possible conviction?
Well, I think I'm not going to go down that path. You know, obviously we're all waiting to see what happens with the outcome of that. This has been going on now for 2.5 years. So I think we're all pleased to see that hopefully this will come to an end.
All right, Senator Ben Cardin, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Andrea, thank you as well. Can't wait to watch your show today. And thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.